Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and we are back for another Walking Dead video. So this has been a anticipated topic for me to cover. So back in 2019, last year in June, I made a video called Top 10 Choices That Don't Matter, The Walking Dead Seasons 1 through 4. And I promised y'all in that video, if we had 2,000 likes, that I would do a part 2. 1 year later, it is finally time. Part 2 of 10 other choices that did not matter. This video has been getting recommended a lot, so with all the support on that last video, it's finally time we start the part 2. So unlike my original list, I am going to be including The Walking Dead 400 Days in this part. Walking Dead Michonne I'm still not including because I feel it's comic book oriented and a lot of the choices in that are linked to Michonne, and Michonne, we know at the end of the Michonne is not going to die because she has to go on through the comics. Please go check the link in the description or the card in the top right if you missed part 1. There are a lot of choices there that you may notice are not in this list because I already included them. This is just, again, because The Walking Dead, Telltale, synonymous with choices not mattering. We have to make a part 2. Alright everyone, if you do enjoy this video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you did enjoy. And kindly ask you, if you do enjoy the videos, consider subscribing. Only about 24% of you guys that watch my videos and streams are subscribed. So be sure to hit that red subscribe button and join the 24% of you beautiful, awesome people that are subscribed. And you non-subscribers, we love you as well. Quick news, Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is coming this upcoming month. Stay tuned for that. I'll have news on that probably in the next video. Hope y'all enjoy. Let's get straight into it.
You look anxious, Clementine. Something the matter?
At my number 10 spot, Trust told Bonnie about Luke. So the emphasis with this choice is after you get the walkie-talkie in Season 2, Episode 3 from Carver's base, your objective is to get it to Luke. So you get interrupted by Bonnie while on the way that you were going to sneak off with Kenny and Mike to get to Luke. Bonnie interrupts and brings you over and wants you to do something with her. And then you have the quick option of telling Bonnie about Luke, or you can keep it to yourself. Now, why does this choice not matter is the fact that no matter what happens, you'll be able to get away from the conversation. Now, what would have been interesting with this choice, had you not told Bonnie, that Bonnie would have kept you there. Or if you had told Bonnie that maybe something, a minor, maybe a major choice could have resulted from this, because Bonnie knows about Luke now. For this being a main choice in the episode, it was very, very, very lackluster for a big decision. Nothing really resulted of it, and outcomes didn't change. When I'm looking for these choices, man, they got to change the story in some way. Some of the choices, even if they don't change the story completely, there are some minor differences. Dialogue options, that's pretty much all we got with this choice. Let's move on to number 9.
We should kill the monsters.
At my number 9 spot is how did you enter the ticket booth? Basically the option is either kill the Walker couple or you enter in through the little hole patch. At the time I first saw this choice, maybe I'm thinking, hey, if we let AJ through the hole, maybe there's, you know, a Walker or something on the other side and AJ maybe gets injured. Or if we kill the Walker couple, maybe, like I said, Abel runs in and that maybe changes the story. The only difference this choice makes is that if we kill the Walker couple, we see them dead later in the episode. That's really it with this choice. I mean, what it's basically teaching AJ is risk reward in essence, but there's no real impact to this decision. Just like the number 10 choice, it's mainly just dialogue. And I really think they could have done something a lot better with this choice other than just really it being the same thing either way. Let's move on to number 8.
Could be worse.
That's what it sounds like. Seems like things got awful bad in the cities. What did you say your name was?
It's Lee.
Nice.
At my number 8 spot is did you lie to Herschel? Now, the impact with this decision is Herschel basically asked you a couple questions about your story. What your name is, how'd you get in the car accident, and some other things. And you have the option of either telling him the truth, or you can, again, be silent, or you could lie to him. And if you do lie to him, fun fact, Herschel will catch you on that lie, and he will get angry with you. Now, sadly though, because Herschel is a comic book character, they really couldn't have a big impact with this decision. And regardless, Herschel will be happy with you if you tell the truth. Herschel will be mad at you if you lie, but it doesn't really impact it long term because in about 5 minutes, we're gone. Herschel's gone, and that's it. We just get dialogue. And you're gonna notice a lot of these decisions I'm basically critiquing in this are why they're not mattering, is it just breaks down to dialogue. It has no real impact on the story. It's just different options of dialogue. And it just continues a linear story path instead of branching it out.
Someone's gonna die. I'm sorry, Clem. I tried everything.
At my number 7 choice, did you try to save AJ? So the premise of this decision, there is a flashback in season 2, episode 3, where Clementine finds AJ after he'd been taken by the New Frontier and everything, and she attempts, right before this she gets kicked out, she attempts to inject him with the vadomycin. Or you could just basically save it. Dr. Lingard had said in this decision that potentially if she uses it, someone could die down the line. So I'm thinking, oh, if I inject AJ, could somebody die? Maybe that could be in a future episode. Or if I inject him, maybe there's some extra benefit. Maybe we actually see AJ at the end of the day just because I injected him. At the end of the day, this decision means nothing. It really, long term, probably it impacts it a little bit because of the final decisions with Clementine, but just in the short term in the future episodes, this choice just breaks down to simple dialogue, maybe a couple different interactions because of it, but it only just really affects the long term. That final decision with Clementine where she basically decided to go with you if you're Javier and all that, or go on her own, or all that stuff. So this would have been a really interesting choice had they maybe made a certain character, New Frontier, die if you injected AJ, or if you injected AJ, or if you didn't inject AJ, that someone could have came back. Let's move on to our next spot.
Wait. Does AJ still have that gun?
At my number 6 option is the choice of did you let AJ keep his gun? And this choice breaks down to several different things. The majority of people let AJ keep his gun, then you give AJ's gun to Lewis. You could say nothing, and then it comes down to AJ's decision. Now, this decision has a lot of different outcomes. 4 different ones on the choice maker thing I just showed there. But no matter what, if you keep the gun, if you don't keep the gun, Lewis's attitude doesn't change that much as a result of the decision. Maybe think, okay, if AJ keeps the gun, maybe Lewis is going to be mad the entire freaking episode. But he forgives us regardless. And even if we do give Lewis the gun, Lewis will give the gun back no matter what to AJ right before they go off into the woods. So the point of this decision, again, probably just for AJ's sake. But does this really have any impact to the story with the gun? Absolutely not. And it sucks. Maybe it just breaks down in a minute, but a lot of these choices in the final season, there were some great choices in the final season, but this is one of the ones I think really didn't hit the ball. All right, number 5 coming up.
Gonna hurt anyone, are you?
Of course he won't, Sarah. Your dad's the nicest man I know, which is why.
Now this one really pisses me off. This decision is friendship. Took blame for Sarah's photo. And all we get with this decision, you don't get any extra, relationship impacts with Sarah or Carlos. You get maybe a quick line or 2 of dialogue and it just cuts off to the same thing no matter what. So if you say it's Sarah's fault, Carlos will be like, unbelievable, and that's all he's gonna say, and it'll cut off to the he was scouting. If you take the blame, he just goes, Sarah. That's it. That's all this choice does. It has no other impact than anything, just because Sarah takes the photo no matter what, and this choice really, really sucks. This is one of the ones that just, you could say really is one of the ones that didn't matter the most. It had really no impact.
Your group!
I'm by myself.
Bullshit! She's lying. Cut the shit, lady.
at my number 4 spot is Did You Try to Save Krista? Now, had we known what happened to Krista, I would have said this choice maybe had mattered. But we don't know what happened to Krista. Now, the difference between if you save her versus you don't is that you'll hear a struggle if you try to save her. But if you don't try to save her, you see her get stabbed. Now, no matter what, you're going to hear a gunshot. And again, there's been rumors. Nobody really knows what happened to Krista. It's never been confirmed if Krista was to survive. And had we found that out, this choice would have mattered, yes. But with Krista's fate being a mystery, we can really say this choice doesn't matter. We have that scene in episode 1 with the guy with the water, and I referenced this in the last video, choices that don't matter. And no matter what choice you do to Krista, even if you give the guy the water, all that, he doesn't say anything. And we never get to find out. So the entire mystery of Krista, sadly, involved with this choice makes this choice not matter because of Krista's mystery and what happened to her. Alright, number 3.
Started running through the woods like a maniac. I chased her for I don't know how long, and then while she saw this mobile home made it.
This choice is a sign of the times for Season 2 choices. Season 2 choices really sucked up until the finale episode. A lot of the Season 2 choices were garbage. And this is one of them. So, in episode 4, Amid the Ruins, you have the option to either leave Sarah to die or save her. Leaving her is pretty simple. You leave her, she's dead, there'll be a couple scenes, you know, Rebecca cries and they'll mourn her a little bit, and that's it. Now, if you keep her alive, maybe you're thinking, okay, if I keep Sarah alive, maybe there's some major impact to that. Maybe something will change with the story, and really nothing does. You get, you know, Rebecca's happy, you know, you get maybe like one line of dialogue too with Sarah, and that's pretty much it. Sarah, no matter what you do, even if you save her, about 30 minutes, an hour later in the episode, she gets crushed, impaled, and there's nothing you can do. Even if you try to save her again, you tell Jane, hey Jane, go help Sarah. Jane tries, nothing happens. Sarah dies regardless. So it's basically a double you have 2 chances to save Sarah. And do you think Telltale lets Sarah live? Nope. They kill off Sarah, and really makes the first choice pointless. What was the point in saving her if we really got nothing with her? And just goes to show Season 2 choices were at most.
Clementine, come help me. Calm her down, please. Just say something.
At my number 2 spot, chopped off Sarita's arm. This choice, you see there's a little difference. Now, why does it not matter? So we know in Season 1, there was the option, chop Lee's arm off or not. We know Lee died no matter what. Chop Sarita's arm off. Did it impact? Did Sarita live any longer? Did it really go down? She lived a little longer, but after we see her, after we chop her arm, if we kept her alive, we see her basically on her deathbed. And Kenny, before he puts her out of her misery. If we kill her, chop off her arm, she gets bitten by a bunch of walkers, so it really didn't mean anything. Kenny gets mad at us regardless of the decision. And even if Sarita is kept alive, there really is no impact. Kenny still is angry. Nothing really changes with that. What I'd like to see with this choice, maybe if we'd chopped off Sarita's arm, she could have lived a little bit longer than what she'd had. But the fact that she got her arm chopped off, she got bitten by like 3 or 4 other walkers, so it really didn't matter. So this choice is probably the one in Season 2, I could say, one of the top 3, top 2 ones that really I hate the most, just because of the sheer lack of impact it had. At my number 1 option is the carryover to Season 2 for the 400 Days characters. Give credit to my boy Mo for this footage. The problem with this is that at the end of the 400 Days DLC, you have the option of bringing certain characters with Tavia. And you're thinking, okay, man, if I bring these characters over, they're going to probably have some impact in Season 2. And we find out, oh my goodness, Carver, there's a group in Season 2. We're thinking, oh my god, this could be the group that Tavia was talking about in the 400 Days DLC. And it was. And we get to finally see the 400 Days characters. But do they really matter? Do we get a lot of scenes with them? We get 1 scene with every character except Bonnie. And I don't like Bonnie. So what the actual hell? And Bonnie's going to be with any player, no matter what. Making decisions, Bonnie's going to be with everybody. So, Bonnie is the only character out of 5 400 Days characters that we really get a lot of time with. Russell, disregarded. Shell and Becca, disregarded. Wyatt, disregarded. Vince, disregarded. It's crazy how dirty they did this. I could go on an entire rant. I could make an entire video probably talking about this, about why they were so blatantly disregarded, and Telltale basically wasted everyone's money with making us think our choices mattered. Because all we got, a 5-second, hey, it's Sarah and Clementine, oh. And they're talking about dumb stuff like that, you know, it just pisses me off. The blatant disregard for our decisions was made obvious in Season 2, and this just continues my factor. Even this is a Season 1 choice on top of it. Telltale basically continues the trend of choices not mattering. Man, they could have really done something special. Season 2 could have been something special. And the fact, I mean, it's still, I love Season 2, but the blatant disregard for these characters was made pretty evident in this. Alright, that is going to do it for the video. Let me know down below in the comments what do you guys think was the choices that did matter the most in this list. If you missed part 1, please go check it down below in the description in the card in the top right. And I want to thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next Walking Dead video. Peace, love, everybody. Have a great one. Let me know what you guys want to see next.
I could barely breathe, I could